My name's Jack Woodward. I'm from Cheshire, Lim, and I'm a student in Leeds, so I live in Headingley. And basically any free time I've got, I like to do music. I just like to play gigs, really. As many gigs as I can possibly find wherever they'll let me play, pretty much. And then apart from that, I do a course in sports science, which gives another side which is quite interesting. I'd probably say acoustic, because it's acoustic, and probably singer-songwriter style. A lot of the influences I've had are sort of bands and things, people like The Killers, but also people like Bruce Springsteen, Pearl Jam, things like that, that probably make their way from sort of, covering some band material. And then I guess the things I write would be similar to that as well. So as well as liking singer-songwriters, I really like Newton Faulkner, a great acoustic artist. I also like quite a lot of the bands about, and I like, using some of the things they do in my own material. The songs I'm going to play today, the first one is a song called Everywhere I Go, and it's basically, it's where I was writing with a guy and I made up sort of an imaginary thing where I was getting chased about around a city by an imaginary person. It's kind of a bit of a comedy strip in my head, and everywhere I go, there'd sort of be around the corner, and you'd sort of be running away from them all the time. And so it's just a bit of a fun thing like that. But it also reminded me, I wrote the song after I went to New York. I went there for the second time. That really, it just gave a fun vibe from that city. And I just enjoyed being there so much that, I wrote a song about it. And the second song that that I'll be playing is called Our Heaven. And that's basically about two kind of star-crossed lovers that can't be together no matter how much they want to be. And they only get to spend 1 week together, and that's it. And I've kind of wrote a couple of songs on that kind of basis around that sort of story. But this is sort of one of my favourite ones. I think that's how I kind of interpreted my own story, I guess. Will you come out tonight? Will you show your face? 'Cause we've been waiting a long time. I generally write sort of with a melody first, so I'll kind of get a melody in my head. Because, first of all, when I first started writing, I couldn't play any other instruments. So I was kind of starting off with a melody, and then I gradually played a little bit of piano and got some chords underneath. But yeah, I like to start with a melody, and then I'll put a sort of backing behind it, and then eventually I'll come up with some lyrics that fit quite nicely. But I'd say the strength in my writing is my melodies. I'm playing as many gigs as possible around Leeds and Headingley. I've played places such as Firth Bar and Milo Bar in the city, and Park Road quite a few times, as well as Voodoo Bar in Headingley. I'm really enjoying just playing to places where you've got a guaranteed crowd, but there's other gigs where you get to play more of your own stuff, which is really fun for me. Essentially, that in the future, that's what I want to do more and more of, is write and play more of my own stuff. And I guess as far as I can go down the sort of live route, playing live, I'd just like to play to more people, to bigger places, maybe at things like small festivals, such as I went to Live at Leeds a couple of weeks ago and really enjoyed that. And I could imagine, if I was fortunate enough, could possibly get to that stage of playing at a festival, would be really good fun. Waiting for a little piece of heaven. Down with my little heart with you. And if you go, you never leave me crying. Oh, not baby, no, but in time, it's what I do. And it's what I do, and hard as we can't explain, our hearts will never feel the same. So we find that in time the answers twist into a lie, and we try moving on the bridge rebuilt but always gone. I think any material you've got is really useful, because essentially if you want to get to the next stage in music, even if you're happy at the stage you're at and you want to go to a new place, it's very difficult for people to find time to book you in for an audition, or maybe might not be how they work. And for a lot of people, it's much more convenient for them to receive something and watch a video or listen to a bit of music while they're sat at their computer, so they can make a quick decision whether they want you to play their venue or whether they want to have you in their project or whatever they're working on. So yeah, I think anything that you get is fantastically useful. I've got a Facebook page which is Jack Woodward Music, and I've also got a SoundCloud which is Jack Woodward JW, I think. And those two would be brilliant places to have a look if you wanted to have a listen, or also maybe YouTube. She's the soul swept by the wind that's waiting at my door, the sweetest voice that I could never hear. How she haunts my waiting breath with each and every word, the softest whisper that you never heard. Oh, and how she's there, I don't know. She follows me everywhere I go. Oh, and I don't care what they say, she's always there for me, and that's okay. She's always there for me, and that's okay. I had the time to make some sense of my own point of view. Is it strange that I can hear now, but no one hears you too? If you like, I'll take you down to the coolest part of town. We'll sing our day and laugh the whole night through. Oh, and how she's there, I don't know. She follows me everywhere I go. Oh, and I don't care what they say, she's always there for me, and that's okay. She's always there for me, that's okay, yeah, yeah. She's always there for me, that's okay. Whoa, and how she's there, I don't know, yeah, she follows me everywhere I go. Oh, and I don't care what they say, she's always there for me, and that's okay. She's always there for me, and that's okay, yeah, yeah. She's always there for me, and that's okay.